Recently, China's dynamic zero-COVID policy has come under certain attack, with some dismissing it as unsustainable and harmful to the economy. To see a true picture of the policy, we need to answer a few basic questions first. Dynamic zero doesn't mean zero infections. The essence of the approach is early detection and quick response measures to stop the spread of the virus in communities to protect people's health and lives to the greatest extent. Some Western media and politicians tend to judge anti-COVID policies from an ideological perspective, dismissing China's measures as too stringent. China is well aware that, given its large gray-haired population, economic disparities between regions, and insufficient medical resources, widespread infections would be inevitable and critical cases and deaths would ensue if it scaled back anti-epidemic restrictions. According to a study done by scientists from China and the US, given certain simulated conditions, the introduction of the Omicron variant in March 2022 to China could have the potential to generate a tsunami of COVID-19 cases. Over a 6-month simulation period, such an epidemic is projected to cause 112 million symptomatic cases, 2.7 million ICU admissions, and 1.6 million deaths without strict and resolute containment measures. All anti-epidemic measures naturally come at a price, and indeed there has been short-term downward pressure on the Chinese economy. But what has happened and is happening now are telling a reassuring story. Once the outbreak is under control, the economy maintains its resilience and extends its track record of growth. That has been demonstrated in Chinese cities once plagued by the pandemic. In Shenzhen, many factories are running at near or full capacity while adhering to China's dynamic zero-COVID policy, which a South China Morning Post report says has so far helped the government walk a fine line between health and growth. In Shanghai, official data show that about half of the city's more than 9,000 major industrial firms had resumed production as of mid-May. Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory sent out its second export shipment on May 15, less than a month after it resumed production in mid-April. Meanwhile, more businesses are resuming full operations as authorities detail plans for the city's return to normalcy in June. With a super large market, complete industrial and supply chains, and huge domestic demand, the world's second-largest economy has shown its resilience to world of challenges. Those China pessimists have repeatedly been proven wrong. Similar warnings have often been heard in the past 2 years when China was hard hit by the pandemic. However, its economy expanded by 2.3% in 2020, making it the only major world economy to grow in what was a pandemic-ravaged year. That was followed by a robust 8.1% growth in 2021. Despite a booming start in 2022 due to the COVID resurgence, its fundamentals remain unchanged and the economy still enjoys strong resilience, enormous potential, vast room for maneuver, and long-term sustainability. The Chinese government has recently announced a slew of pro-growth measures, which will gradually take effect and underpin the economy. Christina Georgieva, managing director of the International Monetary Fund, said in April, China is capable of boosting its economy amid headwinds because it has ample policy space, both in terms of monetary policy and fiscal policy, adding that China's growth remains in positive territory. China has continued to adjust its anti-epidemic measures with the changing epidemic situation and strive for a balance between epidemic control and economic and social development. In an article titled, "COVID has shown up Western democracies' childish tendencies," Financial Times columnist and were news, it was clear-headed to know that governments in the West are too easily sidetracked by instant gratification to see where real interests lie. Blaming China's handling of coronavirus will not raise the towering number of infections and deaths in certain countries adopting a laissez-faire approach, nor will it disgrace China's economic momentum.